Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
A continuación, Voces en Acción, el programa comunitario que informa a la comunidad latina. Voces en Acción, la verdad en acción. Voices in Action, the truth in action. Now, con ustedes, Jenny Ibarra.
Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, donde quiera que usted esté. Nuevamente Jenny Rosales aquí con Voces en Acción, trabajando arduamente para la comunidad. Si no me ha visto o no ha estado comunicándose conmigo últimamente es porque he estado súper ocupada y hoy día les voy a decir la razón por la cual. Pero antes de continuar, quiero dar un aplauso, un recordaris, una mención completamente de lo que es First Financial Bank, el banco financiero de nosotros, los hispanos aquí en Conroe, donde ellos están desde los 1800 trabajando con la comunidad y dándonos la información correcta para poder continuar con nuestras finanzas y poder automáticamente cumplir nuestros sueños americanos. Susie Woods con su team está trabajando. Por favor, cualquier pregunta, llámelos al 936-439-1800. Hi, good afternoon, wherever you are. Blessings, Jenny Rosales again, bring you the latest information. And of course, you haven't seen me lately because the rain, the weather, everything is keeping me away from it. And at the same time, because I've been busy, I'm busy all over. And one of the reasons why I'm busy is because I joined one of the good corporations or organizations here in the community. And you guys are going to know about it in a couple of minutes. And I want to give a shout out to First Financial Bank or Bank. They've been with us since 1980s and basically keeping the community updated with the financial needs and everything that you need to know. If you need to contact them, 936-439-1800, and they will be with you as soon as call them. They're very professionals and they're very dedicated team to their customers. Any questions, call them 936-439-1800. Today, I have the honor of having my boss, one of my bosses, okay, because I became a member of the Junior League of the Woodlands, and I'm working with them and this amazing corporation. To me, after I found out what I was getting involved with, I said, yes, I'm going 100%. Why? Because Voces en Acción and Jenny Rosales meet the qualifications of the Junior League of the Woodlands, and because I love what women are doing to impact the community by service. And that's what this organization is. It's a nonprofit organization that is guided by women. One of them is a president, and she's with us today. And her name is Perisha Burnham, okay? My pronunciation in English and Spanish, please forgive me. And then basically, she's going to talk to us about how everything started and what can we do to join her, okay? Vamos a hablar hoy día con Perisha Burnham. Ella es la presidenta de la Asociación de Liga Menor de Mujeres de aquí del área de Woodlands. Y quiero decirles que si no me han visto es porque he estado súper ocupada con ellas, porque ya me hice parte de la organización de ellas, soy un nuevo miembro y estoy trabajando activamente, donando mi servicio, mi tiempo, mi calidad de tiempo con la comunidad mediante la Liga de Menores de Mujeres de aquí de Woodlands. Y para mí es un honor que Voces en Acción, junto con Jenny Rosales como individuo, están trabajando para poder dar servicio a toda la comunidad, que eso es lo que este grupo hace. Thank you so much for being with us, girl.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
And I know for you guys, it's a surprise. You're like, how she's going to do this.
I love it.
Go ahead and pull the microphone a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
It's a surprise because you guys don't really know who I am or whatever. And it's good because
Oh,
the
no,
less
we know
guys
who you
about
are.
me.
No, I think you had it right. Boss in Action for sure,
I think
right? Yes.
Voces en Acción.
Right,
That
you
means
do so much for
Voices
the
in Action.
community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is bringing the truth in the radio or in the
Right.
Facebook or whatever it is. You can bringing the truth of the community organizations that are working for the community and that the Hispanic community needs to know. So that's why I joined you, besides of loving a bunch of girls and having a sorority sisters everywhere, you know what I mean? And you guys provide that help. And thank you, Perisha, for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, we always want to make sure that the league is doing its best to reach out to women all across our community and across all backgrounds. And so I think that's really great that we're being able to bring not only your perspective, but your knowledge as a professional, as a woman and as a leader in our community as well. So whenever we have that, you know, iron sharpens iron, we get stronger together.
That's right. Ella está dando las gracias básicamente por traerla, haber venido aquí al show y al mismo tiempo organizarnos de manera que Voces en Acción pueda proveer también el trabajo que ellos están haciendo. El trabajo de ellos arduo y es conjunto. Es un montón de mujeres que están trabajando arduamente para la comunidad y ese es el servicio, la parte de ella. You know something? I'm going to say something. Hispanic people, we tend to know, we're kind of noisy. We want to know who you are, where you came from, how many kids you have, if you're married.
Yeah.
So that's what we start. We want to know first, you know, like we're very family oriented. And all of the girls that I can mention, you know, from Miss Jordan and, you know, Ricky and all of them, you guys are so sweet and you guys have beautiful families and all your families are involved. But of course, I get to know you now personally and get involved with you. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. So actually, I am from the nonprofit world.
Okay.
So I have worked in the nonprofit industry for over 20 years.
Okay.
I have a husband. I have 2 children. And I kind of tell my junior league story is that, you know, my husband wanted to go to business school. We got married fairly young, right, in our 20s, and he decided that he wanted to go to business school for a couple of years. During that time, it was, you know, I worked in the nonprofit industry. I'm moving across country to go to a business school with him. You really can't go to an employer and say, hey, I'm going to be here for 2 years, right? Can I have a job for 2 years, and then we're going to move somewhere else?
No, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. Right. So, you know, at that point, you know, I stopped volunteering. I stopped working professionally in the nonprofit industry. We had a couple of kids. Fast forward, moved to Texas, and we have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, Maya and Lucas.
Nice.
A lot of I call
a
them
lot of activity at home. How old are they?
They're 11 and 9.
Oh, so you're busy, mama.
Yeah, so I was really busy from the start. So it was around 2016, 2017. They were about 2-3 years old.
When you decided to start volunteering with the Junior League.
Right. So, you know, you needed something, you know, for me as a woman, right, you want to have something where you're not just known as being Jeremy's wife.
Exactly.
Or Maya's mom.
Exactly.
Or Lucas's mom, right?
Exactly.
And then knowing that I had this background with, you know, nonprofit, wanting to get back into that and seeing what we could do in our community. And so Junior League was a great way for me to jump back into that by being able to say, hey, I could take these skills and this knowledge that I have, the amount of time I have, right? Because really busy in those days.
Exactly.
Right? So I didn't have president time back then. I had time to be on a committee, maybe, you know, once a week, 30 minutes to an hour, doing something to give back to the community. But also, you know, what I loved about going to that first meeting is when I walked in, no one said, who's your husband?
No.
Which kid is yours?
They
right?
recognize you because of Perisha.
Right.
And what you
Who
did.
are you? What do you do? Tell me about yourself, right?
That's amazing.
And that's, you know, I think that's the feeling, you know, that feeling was something that I really was chasing, and you don't know that you're chasing, right? And to be around women that are, you know, giving you that positive affirmation and saying, okay, well, you know, you're really great at doing this 1 hour a week thing. Maybe you want to do something else?
More, exactly.
And more, right? And grow in leadership. And so, you know.
You did grow in leadership because you're a president right now. Okay, Perisha, ella comenzó tratando de organizar su hogar como todas las mujeres. Todas nosotros tenemos un goal y una meta, y el esposo de ella decidió que quería estudiar negocio, entonces ella estaba básicamente trabajando con lo que se llama en las partes de organizaciones que no tienen lucro. Con eso, su experiencia de trabajar con organizaciones sin lucro al fin. O sea, nada que es un income lo que reciben, sino son donaciones. O sea, ella dejó ese trabajo porque quería quedarse en su casa también atendiendo a sus hijos. Tiene 2 niños, Lucas y Maya, que son bebés. En ese tiempo, 2016, 2017, cuando comenzó ella estaban bien chiquitos. Ahora tienen 10 y 9 años y 11 años. 11 and 10. 9 y 11. Y entonces ellas están grandes y ella se comenzó a dedicar a donar su tiempo para poder trabajar con estas organizaciones y se unió a la Liga de Mujeres. Al unirse a la Liga de Mujeres fue a las reuniones una vez a la semana o el tiempo que le tocaba y automáticamente fue desarrollándose ella como mujer y desarrollando su propia actitud. O sea, cuando caminaba en un cuarto, no era que la conocían por la esposa del señor Burnham, la conocían como Perisha, la que ella estaba trabajando en su vida, en su crecimiento, con su comunidad y dando sus valores y su conocimiento de los 20 años adquiridos a organizaciones que son fuera de lucro, y comenzó a crecer y ahora es la presidenta, la ejecutiva de la organización. Basically, when we talk about nonprofit world, I was in and out. It was like crazy. I've been in and out of the profit world in 35 years.
Right.
My last one was a profit, which it was 17 years with United Airlines. Okay. So you can imagine.
Right.
I left the nonprofit to profit and back and forth because I worked with so many corporations in Washington, D.C., nonprofits. And I know when I came to Washington, to Texas, I did the same thing. What is it that attract us minorities to that type of service? Because basically, even though I know that the Junior League holds a lot of non-minorities, like Anglos,
sure.
You see Black Americans and Hispanics, we're the ones that are like all, if you go to Houston, I talked to somebody and they told me the majority of them are Hispanics, the majority that are, there's Black Americans serving, the majority serving are young. Of course, the ages are different from ours, but they're working on this. And what do you think is that attracts us from that? What attracts the woman for that, specifically those specific communities?
I say it's with anything. You want to see people who look like you, right? And you want to see people that look like you doing well. Exactly. And you want to share the secret, And I think that's something, there's I took an African American studies class in college, and one of the things that I really enjoyed about them is that there's when people who are of minority descent, they do a thing that some people that are in the dominant culture don't do, and that's whenever you're in a grocery store or you're like walking by someone on the street, you make eye contact.
Exactly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You always make eye contact
exactly.
and you acknowledge.
Knowledge,
right?
exactly.
Because you want to be seen.
Okay.
And so I think that greater purpose of wanting to be seen, right? And wanting to show that people can be seen, and how
exactly.
do we expose people to each other in a way that that they can work together and have different resources, and and really just kind of come together and make the world a better place. And I think just wanting to be that bridge is something that I know really speaks to me whenever I'm thinking about like what organizations I'm going to be a part of and what communities that we're going to serve. And honestly, I mean, it sounds like that whole Disney make the world a better place,
exactly.
right? But the way I feel like you do that is through proximity and through people from different cultures getting together.
You think
right?
Basically eye caching is what is going to go ahead and call
sure.
whoever is going to be serving according to the community needs and according to the I guess the color of the skin, everything that relates to what you're feeling
sure.
and the way. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Le pregunto a ella qué es lo que ella cree que hace que nosotros, las minorías, los hispanos, los americanos, americanos morenos o los africanos o los que son asiáticos, nos sirvamos con más confianza a la comunidad como voluntarios que quizás los anglos mismos que viven aquí. Me dice, Jenny, yo tomé una clase de political science, donde nos enseñaron a nosotros que básicamente lo que te llama la atención en tus ojos, porque lo primero que tú miras es el ojo, tu ojo con contacto con otra persona. Vamos a un lugar, lo primero que miramos es los ojos de la persona y lo primero que te miran es a ti. O sea, automáticamente al hacer eso tú te identificas con esa persona. Por X motivo, eso tiende a pasar cuando vamos a buscar algún tipo de trabajo, alguna organización que representar o algún tipo de voluntariado que hagamos. Lo hacemos mediante lo que nos gusta a nosotros, mediante lo que nosotros vemos. Y eso es lo que ella cree que es lo que atrae, que nosotros como comunidad nos unamos a poder voluntariarnos. Now, let us talk about the Junior League. I'm going to step away and say the Woodlands in a side because they don't even know what is the Junior League, okay? Sure. When I was presented with the Junior League, I'm thinking, well, there's a bunch of little girls, you know what I mean? And when they told me, okay, no, Woodlands accept past 40, I'm like, cool. Can you tell us a little bit about the Junior League and how it was created? And so we can have that the little background of the history on that, so I can give them to the Hispanic community.
Sure. So in the early 1900s, when women weren't allowed to do anything except, do whatever their husbands told them to do.
Exactly.
There were two women who were socialites, and they decided, they said to themselves, like, we want to actually get involved in doing things in the community. But these clubs were, parted off, and they said, well, husbands do this, wives don't do that,
Exactly.
right? But the wives got together, and they said, you know what, we want to get back to our community. We want to do something. We're smart women. We're educated women, right?
Exactly.
There's some things that we can do here to make our world better. And so they started their own club, basically.
And so it's a club, like
Right.
like a sorority thing club.
Sure.
Okay, uh-huh.
And then that was in New York.
Okay.
And from that one organization that started in New York, we have over 295 leagues across the world
295. Hold on one second.
Worldwide.
Yeah. 295 worldwide. Wow.
now. London, Kenya.
Everywhere. So you
Across the
spread-
world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ellas comenzaron, dos mujeres en Nueva York en el tiempo de los 900, donde acuérdense que ese tiempo la mujer hacía lo que el hombre le decía y la mujer no podía hacer más nada que eso. O sea, eran mujeres educadas, pero que querían ayudar a la comunidad. Se unieron y crearon este pequeño club, donde ellas iban a donar y ayudar su servicio a la comunidad, de la manera como ellas podían. Y bueno, han pasado tantos años y son 295 aproximadamente Junior League o ligas de jóvenes, de mujeres que trabajan alrededor del mundo, no solamente en los Estados Unidos. Estamos en Kenia. What other places besides Kenya?
London.
Inglaterra. Do you have in Latin America as well?
We have a few. I have to look up the full list and I can show you all
Okay,
of them.
también en Latinoamérica lo tenemos en algún punto. Si usted ha tenido que oír el Junior League of the Woodlands, es lo que yo pertenezco porque es un sector en el Woodlands. Pero en Texas, you have what? A bunch of them, am I right?
Oh, yeah. We have
Okay.
a lot. Yeah.
You have a lot.
In
because-
all major cities and in smaller cities too, which is what's really great about the league, because there's a Junior League of Lufkin, right? And so
Lufkin,
there
okay.
could be a league that has only 40 members, right?
Okay.
And then there's some leagues that have like our league where you have
You're a jumbo club, okay? Yes.
You're one of the there's 49, we call them large leagues that have memberships over 500, and
Okay.
so we're part of that.
Yeah, and I saw that on the last general meeting. I was like, damn,
Right,
so many women. It was
right.
amazing. Me dice que hay diferentes tipos de ligas, unas pequeñas que hasta 40 mujeres se reúnen, pero hay unas grandes como la que estoy yo, que es en la Junior League of the Woodlands, donde ellas son más de 500 mujeres que trabajan. Entonces, eso me di cuenta de eso porque en el primer meeting general que tenemos fue hecho en Zoom, y usted no se imagina, eran más de 300 mujeres todas en la computadora, y era increíble la hermandad tan bonita que hay. Entonces, you are a woman of power because you're running a big, huge one. And eventually, the one that is stepping after your foot graduated with me in LMC. So I
Yes.
love Rachel Goldberg. She's
Yes.
amazing.
She's a powerhouse for sure.
Really, I've seen her in action, so I know her. And what makes you now take the whole? I guess you need to pass the baton.
Sure.
Sometime in April. That's when you do it. Am I right?
May.
May.
Yep.
In May, by close to our graduation.
Right.
That's when you pass the baton to Rachel.
Right.
Okay. How many years you have to become, or how do you guys elect the president? What is that you guys do?
So you don't have to be in the league for X number of years
Okay.
in order to take on leadership. We say like 2 to 3, but in order to get to the board.
Exactly.
But beyond that, we look at what I love about the league is that they actually look at what you've done in your professional career,
Okay.
and what you've done in your service career, and they
Great.
combine those to say like, okay, this is how we're going to select our next leaders. And what's really great about our selection process is that it is, again, all done by the members.
Exactly.
So members that are part of our general membership get together, and they're able to speak candidly about the candidates. There's a selection process, resume, you have interview, there's courses to kind of get you ready for that process, because we want there to be transparency around like how we do our selections, but there's also some confidentiality in
Exactly.
terms of making sure that the women that are selected for the slate are what's best for the league and what we're looking for in terms of like our strategic goals and initiatives. So, I mean, I will say, it's a process.
It's a process. Like
sure.
everything has a process in
For
our
sure.
lives. Everything
Yes,
has a
for
process.
sure.
But it's a process that is not only empowering you, but it's giving you the tools, which is, I love that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's something that not most organizations do. They
Right.
just select you and you're in, and you have to figure out your way.
Right.
In case you're right now in, and they help you to figure out the way, which is a different thing.
Right.
So it's hands-on work, and at the same time, and it's support by the same governance of the junior league.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
it's guidance in that way, right? And I think that's what I enjoy about that's so dynamic about the league is that, we're able to be flexible to say, hey, is this not working? Or is this something that we need to do better? How can we join together and take the knowledge you have and the training that you have, right? The skills that you bring, whether it's our selection process or how we do our leadership or our volunteering in the community to make something better, right? It's, all of this knowledge working together. And like you're saying, very different from a corporation or where you walk in there and it's,
I work in the corporate world in both
right.
nonprofit and profit, and that's not the way we select them.
Right.
Basically, especially when you're talking about board of directors, that's something completely different versus you guys. You guys is more like step by step and at the same time training to
Right.
take the position.
Right.
Which when you leave out of there, you can not only be the president of that specific, like junior league, you can go out and your experience will bring you to another nonprofit world, which you can be the president or director of that nonprofit.
Sure.
Or another organization.
Sure.
Because you have the experience,
Absolutely.
which is amazing.
We have a couple of nonprofit presidents in our that were former presidents of the league that in our community in the Woodlands. So
That's amazing. And the worst thing is that I now that I've been working with the community, it's so funny. People are like, "You're in the junior league?" And I say, "Yes, I just joined." I am so proud of you. I'm my junior sister. I'm like, really? You don't even think, because women, we don't really talk about it unless they see me wearing the red thing. You're working with They were so excited. When
Right.
the other day I went to one of your events that I needed to do my community service, and everybody was so happy that I joined the junior league. And I said, yes, I did a good decision.
Right.
Just joining you was a good decision because it's empowerment and it's learning at the same time. Lo bueno de estar con la liga de mujeres menores del área de Woodlands o del área donde usted esté, es que ellos, hasta para poder elegir a la presidenta o a la persona que se encarga de correr a todas esas mujeres en la junta directiva, etcétera, etcétera, ellos pasan por un proceso no solamente de elección, un proceso de referir, de personas que te refieren, de ver tu experiencia en tu currículum, automáticamente ven la calidad de donación de tu tiempo que has dado a la comunidad y también tu profesionalismo. Eso los lleva a que no solamente te elijan, sino que te entrenan para que tú tomes esa posición. Que eso es lo más bonito. No todas las organizaciones a nivel mundial agarran y te dicen, sí, tú eres la presidenta, ven, tú eres y te vas a quedar aquí y ¿sabes qué? Y vas a hacer esto. No, usualmente te dicen, tú eres la presidenta, tú tomas y ya tú sabes lo que tienes que hacer. Acá no, aquí te dicen, ven, te necesitamos como presidenta, pero te vamos a entrenar antes que tú entres a la posición. Para que tú sepas lo que nosotros hacemos y cómo lo hacemos y cómo guías tú a las 500, 400, la cantidad de miembros que hay. No solamente eso, para votar para la posición de ella, las miembros activas y las miembros nuevas graduadas van a votar. Acaban de pasar el proceso por las nuevas que acaban de elegir, que es la señora Rachel Goodler, que le mando muchos saludos, que es amiga mía personal. Acaban de elegirla como presidenta, pero todas tuvieron que votar. Tú vas y te dicen, te abren la puerta para que tú personalmente votes por la candidata que tú quieres. Y eso es lo bonito de esta organización, porque no hay favoritismo. Y realmente la gente va en un proceso de elección limpio, donde la persona que se eligió para esa posición es la calificada. Pueden haber muchas o como pueden haber una sola, pero ellas, todas se ponen los nombres, se votan y al final en la junta directiva dice, bueno, se votó por estas, y esta es la presidenta elegida, la segunda presidencia, y automáticamente cada quien, hasta la tesorera, la secretaria, todo, sale todo expuesto a la larga, at large, donde todo los miembros en la página pueden ver quiénes fueron los que eligieron y por qué votaron. I love that part of that because it's very a democratic way of choosing and electing your servants. The people that are going to be served, because those positions is for you guys to serve us.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
People think that it's like,
Absolutely.
they're just in the top and they're not doing anything. No,
absolutely.
they're trying to keep us active. They're trying to, they're the voice of us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
that's what we love.
And part of what I always say, like what I loved about leadership and the reason why one of the reasons why I wanted to serve as president is because I like to see the dreams come true of the people that are working on our projects. I like to see their ideas come to fruition, right? And I love to be able to be in a position to say like, oh, okay, well, you want to do this big project that we've never done before and it's going to help all of these people and maybe we don't have enough money for it. How can I move things around in the budget to make that happen for you?
Which is
right?
good. It's
Who can I go talk to in the community on the behalf of
you
the
have
league?
all the contacts,
right?
And that's what I love. You don't even know. For me, that was amazing when it was presented to me. I said, you know something, I need to do this because I saw the amount of connections that I have now. 500 women that I didn't know. Some of them I do, but some of them I don't. And they just are willing automatically just to serve.
Right.
And if you need something, they're there. It's the same thing that happened to me when I joined LMC. They were there to help me guide, to serve, and that's what I'm doing. Right. And that's why I'm opening the doors of Voces en Acción to you guys, because the same way you help me, I'm helping the community. And the more I get involved in what you guys are doing, is the more that Voces en Acción can do as a nonprofit organization and as a radio show as well. Make sure that things are done correctly, because of course I don't manage myself. I have a boss too. Dick is with me 100%, and he has given me the green light. I have to respect his opinion. But he knows that I'm out there working for the community. I'm working for the radio show. I'm working for things doing that are supposed to be done. So I love it. We're gonna take a little break, and we're gonna go and let our sponsors talk. Voy a tomar un pequeño break. Vamos a hablar ahorita que venimos sobre qué es cómo es la página, cómo usted puede meter, qué diferentes programas tiene la Junior League y todo lo demás. Pero como dice ella, todo se hace mediante la unión y respeto de todas las integrantes del grupo. Todas votan, todas toman una iniciativa y los programas que se ofrecen son abiertos. Ella dice que ella no puede agarrar y decir, yo voy a tomar esta iniciativa sobre un proyecto sin consultarlo con nadie. Son buenas las ideas, se ponen todas, se discuten y todas hablamos sobre los proyectos. Automáticamente se hace ese proyecto debido a que la cantidad de mujeres están apoyando ese tipo de proyectos. Ahorita que venimos volvemos a hablar sobre esto. Manténganse, por favor, en línea. Gracias. Hi, this is Jenny with Voces en Acción. Let me talk to you guys about one of our sponsors, First Financial Bank. First Financial Bank can help your dream of becoming a homeowner true. The new affordable mortgage program at First Financial Bank can be a great option for those seeking to achieve this dream for themselves and their families. They are here to help you. For more information, call First Financial Bank at 936-439-1800 and discover how First Financial Bank can help you today. That is 936-439-1800. The American Dream is at reach at First Financial Bank. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Hola, les habla Jenny de Voces en Acción y voy a hablar sobre un patrocinador de nosotros, First Financial Bank. First Financial Bank puede ayudar a cualquiera a hacer realidad un sueño de convertirse en propietarios de una casa. El nuevo programa de hipotecas asequibles de First Financial Bank puede ser una gran opción para quienes buscan alcanzar este sueño para ellos y sus familias. Ellos están aquí para ayudarle. Para obtener más información, llame al 936-439-1800 y descubra cómo First Financial Bank puede ayudarle hoy mismo. El número es 936-439-1800. El sueño americano está al alcance en First Financial Bank. Prestamista de vivienda equitativa, miembro FIDC. Gracias nuevamente por estar con nosotros y por mantenerse en línea. Thank you so much for being still with us. And now we're in the fun part of it. We're going to get to know what is the Junior League of the Woodlands. Of course, the Junior League based on the Woodlands, Texas. Which is a beautiful amount of women that are used. Some of them are just... One of them that came to me and said, Jenny, I just joined them because I wanted to have a lot of friends. One of them came and said, well, I found myself that I was just raising kids and I didn't know but it was doing something fun, so I joined. Right. In my case, there's a lot of professionals that I joined just because this is a amazing networking community.
Sure.
And we help each other through, like if I'm looking for a lawyer, if I'm looking for a doctor, if I'm looking, what is the next, if you know a garage place, I can drop my car if it's being fixed. We talk about everything in our chats, and that's amazing, So if you can guide us through the page, ma'am, I would kindly appreciate it. Podemos hablar ahorita sobre cómo trabaja el área de Woodlands. Como digo, cada sector, en cada ciudad de los Estados Unidos hay un Junior League. Así que está en Woodlands. Estas mujeres son compañeras mías, todas, la mayoría me conocen ya y estamos trabajando en lo mismo. Ahora, la presidenta nos va a enseñar un poco cómo navegar, cómo usted meterse, cómo conseguir la información si usted quiere ser parte de nuestra organización. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you go up to the top, so you see a wonderful picture. This is from the Little Black Dress campaign. Not all of the women that were that are photo or in the photo participated. That's only a fraction.
There are like 135 advocates at this morning. Advocates, only the advocates, not the ones that are not working.
Right.
Can you imagine? So
so that's on our first page. If you scroll over to About Us, that's where you find all of our leadership, the association, our training and development. We are a training organization, and that's what we really pride ourselves on. You don't have to have all of the answers when you come here. We prefer you not have all of the answers when you come here, right? So that we can all learn and continue to grow together. And so those are some of our training opportunities that we have we have a distinguished speaker series where we bring in people from the community at our general meetings to speak to us. We have mentorship programs that can be professional or personal based on what your interests are. We have an impact event that's coming up.
Impact,
where we do for educators. We are at 11 school districts.
And then this year you're having a special guest in Impact, which is the Duchess of what?
The Duchess of York, Miss Sarah Ferguson.
Sarah Ferguson.
Yes.
Ahora, vamos a hablar, y está hablando sobre las cosas que está haciendo, cómo trabaja en las misiones de lo que se llama la Liga Menor de Woodlands, de mujeres. Ahora, si vamos hacia arriba, go up, Sarah, a little bit. Este programa Impact es para hablar sobre y motivar a los maestros en la escuela. Y esta señora, que es la duquesa de York, la señora Sarah Ferguson, ella estuvo casada con un príncipe de Inglaterra y ella es de acá de los Estados Unidos. Ella va a venir a dar una charla al grupo, va a ser el día 10 de febrero y estamos preparando a la liga porque estamos teniendo una duquesa ya es un rango mucho más alto. Ella va a venir a darnos clases sobre cómo trabajar con los jóvenes, con los niños, con los maestros, cómo educar, porque ella ha estado siempre envuelta en la educación. Eso es lo que hace. Entonces, Impact es el programa que sale de las mujeres de liga de la Junior League. Ese es un programa. Hay muchos, go back, sir, to the main page, please. Hay muchos programas. Están los programas de Impact, está el programa, look at the events. Okay.
Programs?
Por lo menos. No, the programs. What is the programs? I'm sorry.
Community.
In community. Okay, perfect.
There we go.
Okay, just leave it like that, sir. Okay, usted va en comunidad y en comunidad están todos los diferentes tipos de programas que tiene la Liga de Mujeres. Específicamente esta semana, hoy, inicia la iniciativa del traje negro. Uh-huh. ¿Por qué inicia? Porque el traje negro, and if you can go to, are you able to pull go to how do you pull the little dress initiative?
Oh, if you want to go over to, I think it's under, is it Support Us or, yes.
Right there, on the bottom, that one, exactly. Okay.
Yes.
Esta semana comenzamos una semana bien fuerte. ¿Por qué? Lo que usted está viendo ahí atrás es la pequeña iniciativa del traje negro. Todas las mujeres del League of the Woodlands, todas, y de todas las que trabajan con esta semana, todos los que son de la misma Junior League, se visten de negro. ¿Usted está viendo mi camisa? Uh-huh. Es toda la semana que nos decimos así. ¿Para qué? Para dar el conocimiento a usted y a todo el mundo de la necesidad de educación, la necesidad de comida, la necesidad de cosas básicas para los niños en las escuelas, uh-huh. La necesidad de proteger a nuestros hijos de abuso sexual y de tráfico, la necesidad de ayudar a crecer, empoderar a las mujeres. Esas 5 cosas durante la semana, cada una de nosotras nos toca hablar con ustedes al respecto. Yo comienzo el lunes, hoy lunes. Este show va a salir el próximo lunes, pero este lunes yo comienzo y esta noche voy a hablar sobre la primera, que es literacy. Literacy es educación literaria. Si usted no sabe leer y escribir, las estadísticas, por qué se necesita que usted aprenda a leer y escribir, cómo usted puede conseguir, dónde usted puede leer y escribir, y los daños al no poderse educar. ¿Por qué queremos que se eduque? Todo eso lo voy a hablar esta noche. Entonces, eso es lo que queremos impactar. Cada día hay un tópico sobre este Little Dress Initiative. Lo comenzamos con un kickoff o con una fiesta donde nos reunimos todas el viernes pasado, hablamos, comentamos, conseguimos nuestras camisetas y estamos activas con la comunidad, porque esa es parte de lo que es ser parte de la Junior League of the Woodlands. Ellas todas tenemos un trabajo, el trabajo de concientizar. And I'm sorry, I'm saying it in English. I'm going to say it again in Spanish. I'm saying it in English. Basically, the Little League is letting us know every day there is a subject that you need to touch on. Today, the 22nd of January, and I know this show is pre-recorded and it goes on the 29th. We're going to be talking about literacy. There's a lot of people that are not educated in our community and that they need to learn A's and B's. You know, where either they're adults or they're babies. There's a humongous amount of people that are needing to be educated among the Hispanic community that they don't even know how to read and write in their own language. Basically, they're not going to do it in English either. So that's why Voces in Accion has partnered, and me, Jenny Rosa, has partnered with the Little League. Why? Because I'm making a conscience that my community is needing this to be helped. We're going to give you guys the resources. We're going to talk about how bad it is, and we're going to talk about the good things as well that we're doing. So there's a lot of us reading to our kids every night. Right. There's a lot of us going out there and helping the school system. There's a lot of us that are teachers that are dedicating their life for this. You know what I mean? I'm an educator in my own way. So things like that, that's what we're going to, and that's part of the work that we as Junior League members need to do.
Sure.
How's that little address program has impacted your life?
Well, I did want to touch on something that you did say about literacy. And
exactly.
And what's great about like us learning from each other, one of our programs, because we have members that are diverse and because we are bringing in women, you know, who, you know, our Spanish-speaking community, you know, one of our programs we do where we give out the books, when we talk about literacy, you know, we gave out over 400 books in a community. What we people don't see is that when we read that book, the book is English and Spanish.
Wow, so it's a fully bilingual book.
Yes, so we do bilingual books, and it was read in English and Spanish with both presenters.
Both presenters, okay.
So,
ella quiere que ustedes entiendan lo siguiente. El grupo ese de literatura que se encarga de trabajar con la comunidad, que se inicia casualmente con el Little Black Dress Initiative, ese grupo se encarga de conseguir libros que son completamente bilingües y se leen delante de todas las mujeres. Tanto la persona en español como la persona en inglés encargada lee el libro, se lee para que las personas sean educadas. Ese es parte del proyecto. Los libros que reciben y que dan, que ellas donaron 400 libros, esos 400 libros van a casas de personas que son bilingües, para que usted entienda que eso está trabajando con la comunidad. I have to applaud you guys because that's a lot of work.
Well, I mean, but it's also, you know, when we talk about making the connections, we talk about like, you know, what community growth looks like. I can't, if I threw you a book in German, right? I wouldn't be able to read it either.
Exactly.
Right? And so we have to find out what that bridge is. And that bridge is, are we giving people the resources and the tools? Are we understanding
what is what
the bridge is, right?
Exactly.
What needs to happen in order for people to understand. And when you hit that, and then it's easier for everyone.
Okay.
Right?
Ella dice que ese es el problema. Tenemos que buscar el puente de conexión con las comunidades. Básicamente, yo no te puedo tirar un libro en alemán si tú no sabes hablar alemán, como lo dice ella. Tenemos que tener un libro que sea completamente satisfactorio para que la comunidad entera entienda. Así que si el libro era inglés y español y la comunidad hispana es grande, hay que abarcar a la comunidad hispana para que las mujeres vengan y participen también de parte de la Liga de Mujeres de aquí de Junior League. Porque hay que hacerlo. Esa es la conexión. Es educar y conectarse. Educar y conectarse. Eso es lo que está buscando el Junior League. También en la segunda, can you go down a little bit, sir? I think they listed no, they didn't list them.
Oh, you want to click support?
Keep going to the
Go
support.
down? Do you want to see all of the days or?
Support, Let's click on that one, sir. Probably will come out. Yeah, perfect. Hasta ahora se han recaudado $7,324. Antes del comienzo de hoy, queremos un goal de $65,000. Y créanme, va a haber un goal de $65,000 porque cada vez que ustedes donan a la Liga de Mujeres de Woodlands, ese dinero va para la causa específicamente de ese día. Por lo menos hoy literatura. Go down, sir. En el 20, están las participantes, todas las participantes, keep going, sir. ¿No? Todas las participantes, usted se puede meter y cada una de las advocates, yo soy una advocate, tenemos una meta. Yo tengo una meta de $300. My goal is $300, okay?
Oh, great.
And I wanted to do it small because I don't know who's going to donate. And if they're going to donate, I am going to donate what I need to donate. You know what I mean? But I want to make sure that my peers and everybody in my family knows that we're helping people to get their basic necessities like Pampers for kids.
Right.
Or you know, the bags for adults that are being sexually assaulted, you know, that they're needing to renew the new life. You know what I mean? They're being kept in places that are not safe. You know, we have Miss Carey, which I support 100% Miss Rebecca Carey, because she has been one of the voices that we need to hear constantly.
Right.
You know, and that's what I love from you guys, that you're bringing people that I already talked to in my shows, people that are doing the same thing. So basically, there's a connection.
There's a connection there, right? And then, you know, what's great about the fund is, like you were speaking to, every day has something that I think can speak to someone. Maybe it's literacy, right? Like, and you know, like a $5 donation, because sometimes people think that their donation, it doesn't make a difference if it's just $1 or $2 or $5.
Look, exactly. But they think they need to donate a lot of money. You know,
you
when
don't
we're
need
talking
to. No,
$10,
no.
$5, whatever you're going to eat for lunch, stop eating one day and just donate it. You know what I mean?
A coffee or, you know, we've all been to the store, you know, and having to make ends meet and said, like, we only have the 20. What are we going to get for the $20?
Exactly.
And so, like, we do the same thing with our league programs. We say, well, if we take that dollar, is it going to be maybe $100 can be a survivor kit? Maybe $5 is for the bilingual book, right? Maybe, you know, we talk about, like, girls who are who miss school. You know, there's chronic absenteeism, which has increased since COVID, with young ladies who don't have hygiene products, and so they're not able to go to school. They're missing up to 20% of school.
Foster.
Dropping
so
out,
many,
right?
79,000 kids are just out there.
Foster care.
Needing help. You know what I mean?
I read a very alarming stat when we were getting some of the content for this campaign. 182 children, you know, died in the state of Texas.
Exactly.
For child
negligence.
abuse.
Negligence, exactly.
Right.
And that's what they tell you. What happened with those that are
that we don't know about.
Exactly. That are in the border. We don't know if they die, how they die, or whatever. The bodies are there, and we don't even recuperate those.
Right.
You know, that's what's happening right now. And we're
30 of those numbers, 30 of that 180, right here in Montgomery County and Harris County.
Wow.
30 of those.
Y eso es lo que quiere hablar ella, claramente. Cada día de la iniciativa del pequeño traje negro, cada día hay un tópico que tenemos que sacar a la voz y gritar, no vamos a seguir esto, vamos a ayudar. Y uno de ellos es el abuso de los niños, la negligencia a los niños, ¿ok? ¿Cómo hacemos? No se les pide a ustedes que donen un montón de dinero. Cada una de estas advocates, usted clica en la página, puede donar $5, $10, lo que usted quiera donar. Yo tengo mi nombre ahí. Usted puede entrar ahí y donar automáticamente cuando usted quiera. ¿Por qué? Porque lo que usted dona va a ir directamente a donde ellos, no donde mí. Eso va directamente a donde Junior Leagues y se hace para conseguir libros para niños que necesitan cosas para la escuela. A las mujeres que sacan de violencia doméstica o que sacan de las calles porque han sido traficadas, les dan un juego de ropa con cosas básicas como peinilla o jabón para bañarse, cepillo de dientes, cosas así. Esos paquetes todos se forman. Eso cuesta. con $10 que usted le puede dar a un niño en los fines de semana comida para la educación, porque los niños van a la escuela y cuando están en el verano no hay almuerzos, ¿verdad? Porque usted los saca de la escuela y en el verano están en sus casas. Y muchos de ustedes necesitan comida los fines de semana. Estas señoras van y les dan en la escuela el desayuno gratis, el almuerzo gratis y la cena gratis. ¿Por qué? Porque los Junior Leagues están ofreciendo la comida. Necesitamos empoderarnos nosotros mismos. ¿Cómo? Mediante organizaciones como el Junior League, que lo que hacen es servir a la comunidad mediante la donación. Pero ¿cómo usted puede hacer? En vez de agarrar y comprar una cartera Gucci, cómprese una cartera regular y el dinero, dónelo. Porque no necesita una cartera Gucci. La misma cartera de $30 le hace por una de $2,000. Esos $2,000, muchos niños no tienen ni siquiera zapatos. $75 son para un par de zapatos para un muchacho de la escuela. ¿Cuántos niños están? Más de 79,000 muchachos aquí en el área de Montgomery están en las calles pasando trabajo. Yo voluntarié mi servicio a Love Youth Heals. O sea, el amor sana a los jóvenes, se llama la organización. Y la señora Rebecca Smith vino aquí a mi show y ellos están necesitando gente que dé para esos jóvenes. Little League of the Woodlands se hizo partner con ellos. Lo mismo con la señora Rebecca Carey de Hands of Justice. Ustedes han visto esos shows en mi show. Ustedes han visto a esas mujeres trabajar. Por favor, tóquense el corazón y voluntaríense y den. How can they join you if they're a woman that they are from Venezuela, because a lot of them, they're from Venezuela that are coming, they're very highly educated. I can tell you the same thing. There's a lot of women from Cuba that are doctors that they're just sitting down waiting for a green card, but they've been here and they're trying to volunteer, but they don't know if they're going to get accepted. How can they join you?
So we have every year, we have information sessions. We have several that we do throughout the year, right? And then, so the first thing you do, go to our website, you click join us, and you put your name on a list. And when you put your name on that list, every single time we have an information session, we send out that information.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
Ella dice que si usted está en el nivel de que usted está ganando dinero, puede mantenerse. Y si usted es una persona, ellos no le preguntan a usted de dónde usted sale. Quieren saber si es una persona que quiere donar su tiempo. Usted puede entrar a la página original, que es www.jlth.org, ¿ok? Junior League of the Woodlands.org. Automáticamente se mete allí y le va a salir la página y usted automáticamente puede, en la parte de ese join, que es entrar a la página o hacerse miembro, deja un mensaje que usted se quiere meter. Y automáticamente todos los meses ellos tienen sesiones informativas. Esas sesiones informativas son para que ellos hablen con usted de cómo es el proceso de ser elegido y cómo usted puede entrar para poder ayudarlos y ser voluntariado. ¿Ok? Eso es lo último que le puedo decir acerca de esta organización tan maravillosa. I'm sorry. You guys are an amazing organization. I feel that, yes, my love is worth it, giving it out the way I'm doing it. Because I feel that there's a lot of women out there that have the same perspective that I'm looking at. And having the other day being on Postinos and sharing with your group or going to the general meeting, the 84 girls assigning on the first meeting that we had, newcomers. Yeah. I have something that I look forward to go to.
Thank you.
And even though I develop myself to go to every meeting, I have the choice of saying, no, I'm going to the Junior League. I have my friends to meet with them. I want to share with them. I want to do something with them. Regardless if physically, because of my condition, I cannot do more of the things. But the volunteerism that I'm doing, I feel that is worth it for you guys. And that my doors are open for the Junior League anytime, whether I'm an active member, whether I am no longer a member, whether I'll continue being a member, whatever it is. Thank you so much, because you're opening the doors for a lot of us.
Thank you.
And then we're going to feel useful. Hispanic women are useful if you use them the right way. Not only for tortillas and not only for cooking. We're good to help you guys.
Hispanic women are necessary.
Exactly. At this
Not
point,
useful,
yes.
Necessary.
We're necessary. And I keep saying that I keep telling everybody, it's no longer about what community you're from. You're a human being. You're a woman. You gave birth to a child, or you decided not to, but you're providing for your family. Either or, you're a woman and you have the right to serve.
Absolutely.
And I keep saying to myself all the time, all of us were born to serve. The person that doesn't like to serve, I'm sorry for them, but service is part of, as a
Right.
Christian person, because I am, but other people don't believe in that, and I'm not into that. But basically, I can say that serving is part of our lives in every aspect. Because you start doing dishes
Right.
when you're 7 years old. Am I right? You're serving your mom and your dad. Or you go to school and you study to be a doctor or an engineer,
Right.
and you're serving your community.
The economy, right? We're all based on, we're all neighbors helping neighbors. And if we don't do that for each other, if we don't have that sense of community, then we don't have the world that we live in, right? We don't have all of the great things that make life like wonderful.
Le digo claramente que todos nacemos para servir y tenemos un don para hacerlo. No importa qué comunidad usted sea, ya no es la comunidad, es el ser humano en sí nace para servir. No importa la necesidad de donde usted, o qué es lo que usted crea. Desde que nace chiquitito, a los 7 años aprendemos a lavar platos las mujeres o los hombres a cortar el pasto. Nuestros padres nos inculcan que tenemos que servir y siempre se nos ha inculcado, sobre todo a la comunidad hispana, que es tan orientada familiarmente. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que tenemos que hacer? Aceptar que es parte de nuestra organización, de nuestra vida, el dar servicio a los demás y ayudarlos. Si usted tiene tiempo, por favor, dedíquese a ayudarnos. Ayúdenos, llámenos. Si tiene alguna pregunta, puede contactarse. Can they contact somebody? Will there be somebody that will be able to talk to them in Spanish if they want to talk to you guys?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Okay. And the number that you're giving out, go ahead, sir, can you put us on the main page? I think home. The number that
So if there is someone we can take a message.
Okay.
And they can also, like, through our website, if they want to, put
Put
some
we're able to
information
read
in.
it. Okay.
And what we use, because we're a volunteer organization,
Exactly.
we actually don't rely on our members, thankfully.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So when we're translating flyers or we're
you have a
translating
communications
messages,
department that will be able to talk to them. Exactly.
We'll like reach out to someone if they need some
Okay.
support.
Si usted necesita llamarlos o contactarse en mi webpage, usted entra a Voces en Acción, está el nombre de la presidenta, está la información completa de la organización y abajo está el número de teléfono. El número de teléfono para comunicarse, ellos hablan español, o si usted quiere entrar a la webpage, ahí usted puede dejar un mensaje escrito. Usted deja un mensaje escrito y se comunicarán con usted el departamento de comunicación en la lengua que usted hable. Ellos buscan una persona para que hablen con usted. Y si usted quiere acompañarnos en esta aventura de conocer a buenas mujeres, de trabajar para la comunidad y seguir siendo útil en esta vida, hágalo. Se lo dedico esto a todas aquellas mujeres, a todas esas profesoras, a todas esas mujeres que trabajan diariamente, porque la Liga de Mujeres de Woodlands están haciéndolo. Y si nosotros lo podemos hacer, usted lo puede hacer. It was a pleasure talking to you. It was an amazing talk. And I'm going to tell you, I feel that I'm a sorority sister for you guys. Thank you again, and thank to Ricky and all your team of communication, all your team of programming, all the team, and memberships, all of them, all of them.
No, thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you for being a member.
And
We can't do the work without the members. So thank you.
And believe me, like I said, Voces en Acción and Jenny Rosales are an active member, and we're here to help you guys.
Thank
because
you.
I get help, I need to help others, okay?
Absolutely.
Gracias, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Vamos a despedirnos ahora y nos volvemos a ver en nuestro próximo programa. It was a pleasure seeing you, and thank you for holding on there. If you need anything, you can go to my webpage. All information, Ms. Perisha is there at the same time with the league and everything that is there, the phone numbers. You want to join us, you know how to get into touch with the league. www.juniorleagueofthewoodlands.org. Automatically, it will pop up. Even if you put Junior League, and automatically will go into, and you want to be in if you're not in Woodlands and you want to join them in your district or wherever you are, you can do it. Please join us so we can care for our community. We're women. Woman is empowered to create and to feel and to get that needy part of the human being or humanity to be filled. That's why we're women, because we have that. And that's what they did at the beginning on the 1900s. They're needing to help and serve the community because they were not doing anything. If you're not doing anything at home, come. We need you. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Esto fue Voces en Acción, el programa comunitario que informa a nuestra comunidad latina. Voces en Acción, la verdad en acción. Voices in Action, the truth in action. Hasta nuestra próxima edición.